Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're uncovering the hidden value of Lincoln wheat pennies, coins that might look ordinary but can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. From rare dates to striking errors, some of these pennies are true treasures hiding in plain sight. If you think a 1-cent coin can't be valuable, think again. Let's find out which wheat pennies are turning heads in the collector world. First up, the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny is part of the iconic Lincoln cent series that has been in continuous production since 1909. This particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small letter D located below the date on the obverse side. The Lincoln wheat penny is well known for its historical importance, timeless design, and accessibility to collectors at all levels. The 1951 issue, while not considered rare, holds significance as a mid-century coin produced during a time of post-war economic growth and societal transition in the United States. The obverse of the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny features the familiar right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. This design was created by Victor David Brenner and has been one of the most enduring images in American coinage. Above Lincoln's head is the inscription "In God We Trust." To the left is the word liberty, and to the right is the year 1951 with the D mint mark just below it. Brenner's initials are sometimes visible on the shoulder line of Lincoln's portrait. The obverse design reflects the reverence with which Lincoln is held in American history and continues to be a powerful symbol of unity and integrity. The reverse of the coin retains the classic wheat ears design that was used from 1909 through 1958. To stylized wheat stalks frame the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. The Latin motto E pluribus unum appears at the top of the reverse and translates to out of many one. This reverse design connects the coin to the nation's agricultural roots and the importance of unity during times of both prosperity and challenge. The wheat reverse design is a favorite among collectors due to its simplicity and its strong visual ties to American history. In 1951, the Denver Mint produced over 625 million Lincoln wheat pennies, making this date and mint mark combination relatively common in terms of mintage. However, despite the high number produced, the condition and appearance of individual coins vary greatly depending on how they were handled, stored, and circulated. Many coins from this period were heavily used in daily commerce and exhibit various signs of wear, environmental exposure, and handling over the decades. These factors influence each coin's current appearance and condition. The specific coin in question is described as having a red shade and signs of rust. The red shade refers to the original reddish hue of the copper alloy used in the coin's composition. Lincoln cents struck before 1980 were made primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. When freshly struck, these coins displayed a bright red luster that gradually faded with exposure and use. If a coin has retained some of this red coloring even after circulation, it indicates a degree of preservation and limited oxidation, which can be notable among coins of this age. However, the mention of rust suggests the coin has experienced corrosion, possibly due to long-term exposure to moisture or other environmental contaminants. Technically, copper does not rust in the same way as iron, but it does corrode over time, especially when exposed to humidity, soil, or chemicals. This corrosion can result in surface damage, including pitting, rough textures, and discoloration. The presence of rust on a copper coin often appears as dark brown or blackened areas, sometimes accompanied by greenish or bluish patches caused by copper oxidation. These effects are common in coins stored in non-optimal conditions, such as basements, jars, or damp containers. Despite the presence of rust and signs of age, the coin still holds both numismatic and educational value. It reflects the everyday life of mid-20th century America, when a penny had more purchasing power and was used regularly in commerce. A coin like this might have been used to buy candy, comic books, or newspapers during the early 1950s. It may have passed through numerous hands and traveled across different parts of the country before ending up in a coin collection decades later. The imperfections on its surface are physical reminders of this long journey. Collectors classify coins using a standard grading scale that ranges from poor to mint state. A coin like this with visible red color, but also rust and circulated wear, might be considered in the lower to mid-circulated range, such as good fine or very fine, depending on the clarity of design elements like Lincoln's hair, wheat stock details, and the legibility of inscriptions. While it may not have significant monetary value, especially in heavily worn condition, it still plays an important role in completing date and mint mark collections or studying coinage history. For those interested in preserving such coins proper, storage is essential. Keeping the coin in a cool, dry environment away from sunlight and humidity can help slow further deterioration. Using acid-free coin holders or archival quality flips can offer protection against environmental damage. It is important not to clean the coin aggressively, as this can strip away original surfaces and reduce both its historical and collector value. Even coins with corrosion and wear are best left in their natural state, since cleaning can make them appear unnatural and harm their long-term integrity. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny serves as a small but meaningful piece of American numismatic history. It represents a period of transition and optimism in the post-war United States and connects the present to a time when everyday coins played a larger role in daily life. This specific example, with its combination of red shade and signs of rust, offers a glimpse into how coins age and the many paths they take before being preserved by collectors. Though not a rare or high-value piece in monetary terms, it holds cultural and historical significance that extends far beyond its face value. In conclusion, the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny is a well-known and widely circulated coin from a formative period in American history. Its classic design, its widespread use, and its symbolic value make it a staple of U.S. coin collecting. This particular coin, with its red coloring and signs of rust, tells a story of long circulation, environmental exposure, and the enduring legacy of Lincoln's image on American coinage. Whether part of a complete set or kept as a single historical artifact, it remains a valuable piece of the American numismatic tradition. Next up we have the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a coin that holds a special place in the history of United States coinage. Struck during the height of World War II, it reflects both the economic realities and patriotic sentiments of its time. As part of the beloved Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909, the 1940 wheat penny is one of the most widely collected coins in American numismatics. Though it is not rare in terms of mintage, its historical context and the sheer number of collectors who appreciate these coins ensure its continued significance in collections across the country. This particular coin is described as having surface scratches, which is not uncommon for coins that were widely circulated for decades. These imperfections serve as reminders of its long journey through American commerce and the hands of countless citizens. The obverse of the coin features the right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this portrait was the first real-life person to appear on a U.S. coin. The top of the coin reads, "In God We Trust," a motto that became standard on all U.S. currency in the 20th century. To Lincoln's left is the word liberty, and to the right is the date 1944. The absence of a mint mark below the date signifies that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The details of Lincoln's hair, facial features, and clothing can often become worn or scratched with circulation, and in this coin's case, the scratches indicate usage in daily transactions over many years. These wear patterns do not necessarily detract from the coin's historical value and often add a layer of character. The reversed side of the 1940 wheat penny showcases the classic wheat ears design that gives the series its name. To stylized wheat stalks curve inward along the edges of the coin, enclosing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. The Latin phrase pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, appears at the top. This design was intended to symbolize American agricultural strength and national unity, both highly relevant themes during the wartime period when the coin was minted. Even with scratches or surface marks, the integrity of the design often remains recognizable, serving as a testament to the durability and quality of the U.S. Mint's coin production during that era. The year 1944 is notable because it followed a unique moment in U.S. coinage history. In 1943, due to wartime shortages of copper, the mint produced pennies made of zinc-coated steel. These coins were widely disliked because they rusted easily and were often mistaken for dimes. In response to public feedback and practical concerns, the mint returned to using copper in 1944. However, instead of sourcing new copper, they primarily used recycled shell casings from the war effort. This gave 1940 for pennies a slightly different, metallic composition than earlier or later years and added a layer of patriotic symbolism to the coin. Even though millions were made, many collectors value the 1940 for penny because of this unique backstory and its link to World War II. The condition of a coin significantly impacts its value and appeal to collectors. Coins like this 1940 for Lincoln Wheat penny that show scratches from circulation are classified as circulated. Scratches can occur from being stored in jars, passed through vending machines, carried loose in pockets, or handled without protection. While they might lower a coin's grade on a technical level, scratches do not erase its historical value. Each mark tells part of the story of a coin's long life. In this case, the scratches might suggest that the coin was in circulation for many years, possibly even for decades before being set aside by a collector. Coins are graded on a scale ranging from poor to mint state. This 1940 for wheat penny would likely fall within the lower to middle range of this scale due to the noted scratches and signs of wear. In general, collectors prefer coins with sharp detail and original luster. However, for those interested in history or building complete date and mint collections, circulated coins are often prized for their accessibility and affordability. A scratched coin can still be very attractive to a collector who values the journey the coin represents more than its flawless appearance. The wide availability of the 1940 for wheat penny makes it an excellent starting point for new collectors. It is a coin that teaches about the economic and historical context of the mid-20th century United States. Holding a 1940 for penny can prompt reflections on the lives of Americans during the war, when rationing and sacrifice were part of everyday life. It was a time when a penny had much greater purchasing power and was used regularly for small transactions like candy, newspapers, and phone calls. The presence of scratches only reinforces the idea that this coin was once part of that daily life. Collectors who own coins in this condition should handle them with care. Even though the coin has scratches, it is still best to avoid further damage by using soft cloths or gloves when examining it. It can be stored in a protective holder to prevent future wear. Although cleaning is often tempting, it is not recommended as it can worsen scratches and reduce the value of the coin. The patina and wear that a coin naturally develops over time are part of its history and often appreciated by experienced collectors. In conclusion, the 1940 for Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is more than just a coin. It is a historical artifact from a crucial time in American history. Its production using recycled wartime materials adds to its meaning, and even with scratches from years of circulation, it tells a rich story. While its market value may not be high, its value as a piece of American heritage remains significant. For collectors, historians, and anyone interested in the tangible links to the past, a coin like this offers insight into the lives and times of those who came before us. Next up we have the 1940 for Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a widely recognized coin that continues to capture the attention of both novice and seasoned collectors. Minted during the peak of World War II, this coin represents more than just currency. It is a symbol of resilience, industry, and national unity during a period of great historical significance. The coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not place a mint mark on its coins at that time. As a result, any 1940 for penny without a mint mark can be attributed to this facility. What makes this specific coin even more notable is its red shade, a characteristic that often reflects better preservation and adds to its visual and collectible appeal. The obverse side of the coin features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner and has remained in use on the cent ever since its introduction in 1909. Above Lincoln's head is the motto "In God We Trust," to his left is the word liberty, and to the right of the portrait is the date 1944. The absence of a mint mark confirms that it was struck in Philadelphia. In well-preserved examples with a red shade, the details of Lincoln's face, beard, and coat are more pronounced. This coin's red hue indicates that the copper surface has retained much of its original mint luster and has not undergone significant oxidation or toning, making it more desirable among collectors. On the reverse, the coin displays the familiar wheat ears design that gives the series its name. Two stalks of wheat curve along the left and right edges, enclosing the words 1 cent and United States of America. The phrase E pluribus unum appears at the top. This simple yet powerful design by Brenner remained on the reverse of Lincoln since until 1958. The design reflects both the agrarian values that were foundational to the American identity and the strength of the country during the early 20th century. The clarity and luster found in red-shaded examples of this reverse design can enhance its aesthetic appeal, with the wheat stalks and inscriptions appearing crisp and well-defined. The year 1944 marked an important return to traditional copper composition in Lincoln pennies. In 1943, the U.S. Mint had produced cents from zinc-coated steel to conserve copper for the war effort. These steel cents were not well received by the public due to their tendency to rust and their similarity in appearance to dimes. By 1944, the Mint resumed using copper, but sourced much of it from recycled shell casings recovered from the battlefield. These shell case cents had a slightly different composition from pre-war coins, typically consisting of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This reuse of military materials gave the coin a unique connection to the war, and many Americans saw it as a small token of national pride and sacrifice. The red shade on a 1944 cent often reflects a coin that has not undergone significant environmental exposure or handling, allowing the rich copper tone to shine through. In terms of production, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in extremely large numbers, with over 1 billion coins struck in Philadelphia alone. This makes the coin common in circulated grades. However, well-preserved examples with original red coloration are less common and are often classified as uncirculated or in mint state. Collectors categorize these coins based on their color: red, red-brown, and brown. The red designation is reserved for coins that retain at least 95% of their original mint red color, and these tend to be more valuable and sought after in the market. The red shade is often protected when a coin has been stored carefully in a dry environment, away from air and moisture that can cause oxidation. Although the coin is not considered rare in general terms, its condition plays a significant role in determining its value. A 1944 penny in good condition with a red shade can be particularly attractive for collectors who aim to assemble a set of high-quality Lincoln cents. Red coins with full original luster and minimal marks can fetch higher prices in the collector market. The presence of this red hue also implies that the coin has not been overly handled or exposed to the elements. In contrast, coins that have turned brown or show spotting and discoloration are more common and less valuable. When examining a 1944 red Lincoln penny, collectors often look for signs of mint brilliance, strike sharpness, and the absence of significant nicks or abrasions. Since the Philadelphia Mint had excellent production standards, many of these coins exhibit strong details when preserved well. It is not unusual for coins that have been properly stored in original rolls or protective holders to retain their red color for decades. The eye appeal of a red penny often outweighs the interest in a worn or toned coin, even if both are from the same year and mint. For those who own a red 1944 Lincoln wheat penny, it is important to store it properly too. Maintain its color and value. The coin should be kept in an inert plastic holder or an archival quality flip, stored in a cool and dry location away from direct sunlight or humidity. Avoiding fingerprints is crucial, as the oils from human skin can cause spotting or discoloration. Over time, unlike coins with scratches or environmental damage, red coins benefit greatly from careful handling and display. In summary, the 1940 for Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark and with a red shade is a coin that stands out due to its vibrant appearance and historical significance. Minted in one of the most pivotal years of the 20th century, it reflects both the sacrifices of a nation at war and the resilience of its people. Its bright copper color, if preserved, adds both beauty and collectible value. Though common in numbers, a red example in good condition is a treasured find for collectors. It tells a story of economic transition, patriotism, and the enduring legacy of American coinage design. Whether added to a beginner's folder or a seasoned collector's high-grade set, the 1940 for red Lincoln wheat penny remains a meaningful and timeless piece of United States history. Next up we have the 1935 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a classic example of early 20th century American coinage. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark at the time, this coin is part of the long-running Lincoln Cents series that began in 1909 and continued with the wheat design until 1958. The coin was produced during a time when the United States was recovering from the Great Depression and moving slowly toward greater economic stability. While the 1935 penny is not considered rare in terms of overall mintage, circulated examples still hold significant historical and collector interest, particularly for those who appreciate coins with authentic signs of use and age. The obverse side of the 1935 penny features a right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. This iconic design by Victor David Brenner has been used continuously on the 1-cent piece since its debut in 1909. Lincoln's image is flanked by the word Liberty on the left and the date 1935 on the right. The motto "In God We Trust" arches above the portrait. The absence of a mint mark below the date signifies its origin at the Philadelphia Mint. On circulated examples of this coin, you may notice smoothing of the finer details in Lincoln's hair, beard, and coat. The high points of the design tend to wear down with handling, giving the coin a softened appearance that reflects decades of use in everyday transactions. The reverse of the 1935 Lincoln wheat penny showcases the design for which the series is best known. To stylized wheat ears curve along the left and right edges of the coin, enclosing the denomination 1 cent and the inscription United States of America. Above these words is the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, which translates to out of many. This reverse design was also created by Brenner and was selected for its clean, straightforward representation of American agricultural ideals and unity. In circulated examples of the 1935 penny, the wheat stalks may appear faint or partially flattened, and the surface might display contact marks, small scratches, or discoloration from decades of handling. The 1935 wheat penny was struck in large quantities, with over 245 million coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint. This high mintage makes the coin relatively common compared to scarcer issues from earlier or lower mintage years. Still, for collectors assembling a complete set of Lincoln wheat cents, the 1935 issue is a necessary and meaningful component. While uncirculated examples are more valuable and sought after, circulated coins like the one described have their own charm. They tell a story of a time when a single cent had real buying power and passed through the hands of countless Americans during an era of change and recovery. The coin is composed primarily of copper, with a standard alloy of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This composition was consistent with the standard used for most Lincoln cents until World War II, when metals were temporarily altered due to wartime needs. Over time, circulated copper coins like this one often take on a range of colors, from rich chocolate brown to darker, more muted tones. The color can also be influenced by storage conditions, exposure to air and moisture, and the natural aging process of copper. While these changes do not typically enhance a coin's value, they add a layer of authenticity and uniqueness that appeals to many collectors. In the 1930s, the United States was still grappling with the aftermath of the Great Depression. Coin designs remained stable during this time, and the Lincoln cent, in particular, was a familiar part of daily commerce. It was used for everything from buying a newspaper or candy to saving up for small goods. These pennies circulated widely and were often saved in coin jars, bank rolls, and dresser drawers. Many people born in the early 20th century remember growing up with wheat pennies as an everyday part of life. The 1935 penny is a tangible link to that era, offering a small but powerful reminder of the economic and social conditions of the time. Collectors often seek coins like the 1935 wheat penny to fill gaps in their year-by-year sets or to preserve a snapshot of a specific period in history. While circulated coins generally hold less value than uncirculated or mint-state examples, their affordability and accessibility make them attractive to a wide audience. This includes beginners just starting in the hobby as well as seasoned collectors interested in building typesets or studying the evolution of coin design and minting practices. Even in circulated condition, the 1935 penny provides educational value. Examining such a coin can teach collectors about wear patterns, die varieties, and historical context. It can also spark curiosity about broader topics such as economic history, coin production, and the symbolism behind coinage imagery. A circulated 1935 wheat penny might show signs of flattening in Lincoln's cheek and jawline or softening around the edges of the lettering and date. These signs of use are normal and do not diminish the coin's value as a piece of history. For preservation, collectors often store their circulated coins in archival quality holders or coin albums. These storage options help prevent further deterioration and protect against environmental factors such as humidity, oils from skin contact, and accidental scratching. While circulated coins may not require the same level of care as pristine examples, proper storage helps ensure that they remain in stable condition for years to come. In terms of market value, the 1935 Lincoln wheat penny in circulated condition is generally modestly priced. It is widely available from coin dealers, online marketplaces, and at coin shows. However, the emotional and historical value can far exceed the coin's monetary worth. For many collectors, owning a circulated 1935 penny is less about investment and more about connection to a time gone by, to the people who used it, and to the enduring story of American coinage. In conclusion, the 1935 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark and in circulated condition is a coin that may be common in numbers but is rich in historical and personal significance. Its worn surface is a testament to its journey through the pockets and hands of everyday Americans during a pivotal era. Whether you are a collector, a history enthusiast, or someone who simply enjoys the stories behind old coins, this penny offers a meaningful glimpse into the past. Its design remains timeless, and its presence in collections large and small continues to honor the legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the enduring appeal of American coinage. Next up we have the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a classic American coin that continues to attract the interest of numismatists and history enthusiasts alike. This coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on its 1-cent pieces during this era. The Lincoln wheat penny series, introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, remained in production with the wheat reverse design until 1958. The 1953 issue stands as a significant part of this historic series, reflecting the post-war period in American history when the country was experiencing economic growth, industrial expansion, and cultural transformation. Though not rare by mintage numbers, this specific coin is noteworthy due to its unique condition. displaying a small black shade that adds character and tells a story of circulation and age. On the obverse side of the coin, we find the familiar, right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This design by Victor David Brenner has become one of the most iconic images in American numismatics. Lincoln's image is complemented by the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to his left, and the date 1953 to the right. The absence of a mint mark beneath the date confirms its origin in Philadelphia. The portrait of Lincoln remains detailed in many circulated examples, although wear is common in high points, such as the cheek, jawline, and coat collar. A small black shade or discoloration, as seen on this particular coin, could be the result of long-term exposure to moisture, air pollutants, or improper storage conditions over the decades. Such toning or surface marks are natural for circulated copper coins and are often seen as part of the coin's history and journey through time. The reverse side features the classic wheat ears design, with two stylized stalks framing the central inscriptions, 1 cent and United States of America. Above these words is the Latin motto E pluribus unum. The wheat reverse, another creation of Brenner, served as a tribute to American agriculture and the nation's strength through unity. While many 1953 pennies show signs of wear on the wheat ears and lettering, the design remains visible even in circulated condition. The presence of a black shade on either side of the coin does not necessarily detract from its historical value, though it may slightly influence its aesthetic appeal to some collectors. These natural changes in appearance are a reminder that the coin was used and carried in pockets and tills across the country, participating in everyday commerce. The composition of the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This alloy was used for most of the wheat penny's production run, except during the war years when alternate metals were briefly used. Over time, copper coins tend to change color due to oxidation. The original red tone of a freshly struck cent often transforms into shades of brown or even dark gray. The small black shade on this coin is likely a localized result of this natural aging process. While red coins are prized for their original mint luster, brown and darker coins offer their own charm, especially when they show consistent toning. Without heavy corrosion or damage. In 1953, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 256 million Lincoln wheat pennies. This high mintage means that the coin is generally common, especially in circulated grades. However, every coin has its own unique characteristics, and collectors often appreciate pieces with distinct visual features or signs of age. A small black shade does not automatically reduce a coin's desirability, especially when the rest of the design remains intact and the coin is free of major nicks, gouges, or signs of cleaning. Collectors value authenticity, and many prefer coins that show honest wear and patina rather than those that have been altered to appear newer than they are. During the early 1950s, America was in a period of transition. The Second World War had ended less than a decade earlier, and the country was enjoying a post-war boom. Suburban development was expanding, consumer goods were in demand, and the economy was strong. A penny minted in 1953 would have been used in countless ways: buying a stick of gum, paying part of a bus fare, or being dropped into a child's piggy bank. The coin may have changed hands thousands of times over the decades before becoming part of a coin collection or resurfacing in a jar of old change. Its small black shade is a visual reminder of that long journey through time and use. The Lincoln wheat penny series as a whole holds a special place in American coinage. Not only was it the first regular issue coin to feature a U.S. president, but it also introduced a new standard for artistic design and patriotic symbolism. Each coin in the series carries with it a sense of national identity and continuity. The 1953 issue contributes to this legacy by representing a year in which the United States was defining its role, the global stage, and experiencing rapid change at home. Owning such a coin allows one to hold a piece of that history, modest in monetary value but rich in meaning. When storing a 1953 Lincoln wheat penny, especially one with toning or a darkened area. Collectors should take care to protect it from further deterioration, placing the coin in a non-PVC flip or an archival quality album can help preserve its current state. Coins should be stored in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight or sources of moisture. Handling the coin should be done by the edges to avoid transferring oils from the skin to the coin's surface, which could cause new spots or stains over time. In terms of market value, a 1953 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark and in circulated condition typically holds modest financial worth. Its appeal lies more in its historical significance and the personal satisfaction it brings to collectors who appreciate coins for their stories. Variants with full original red luster or uncirculated grades are valued higher, but circulated examples with unique features, such as small black shades, can still be intriguing additions to a collection. They serve as educational tools and historical artifacts that connect us to the past. In conclusion, the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a coin that may appear ordinary at first glance, but becomes remarkable when viewed through the lens of history and personal experience. Its enduring design, copper composition, and signs of age all contribute to its appeal. The small black shade on this specific coin adds to its individuality, reflecting a long history of use, handling, and storage. It is a tangible piece of the American story, a quiet witness to the passage of time, and a treasured object for anyone who values the rich heritage of United States coinage.